Hello everyone, welcome to HW News. My name is Aarti. 4th August 2021. Today is the 12th day of the monsoon session of the Parliament. And here is what the scenes in the Parliament looked like today. Let us have a look.
Sir, I have to report that Rajya Sabha has passed the Limited Liability Partnership Amendment Bill 2021 and the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee.
Economic situation, price rise and other issues. This is not the way. This is not the way. Please go back to your seats. Please go back to your seats. Please go back to the seats. All these members who are in the
Well, this is not just today. This has been going on since the day monsoon session began on July 19th. In fact, for almost a week after commencing the session, there was literally no or very little work that happened in the business hours of the Parliament in the first week. And that continues even today. What has the continuous Parliament impasse cost us, the Indian taxpayer? What is the number of hours our lawmakers have worked this monsoon session so far? And who is responsible for the current deadlock, opposition or the government? Let us try and discuss these issues in today's video. But before that, if you like this video, please give us a super thanks and please do comment below the video. Subscribe to our channel as well, and if you're watching this video on Facebook, please do like our page and share this video to as many people as possible. Now every day, whether you check the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, you will see opposition leaders coming down in the well of the house with placards of their demands, hoping to get the speaker's attention, but to no avail. The speaker asks them to go back to their position. The MPs continue to roam inside the Parliament House with the posters and placards. The opposition MPs are seen flashing their posters near the members who stand to speak in the House or in front of the speaker to be visible on the screen. Now, why are these MPs protesting? Well, the opposition wants to discuss the issues of Pegasus snooping. The list of people potentially snooped upon using the Israeli spyware NSO includes 300 Indians. These include journalists, politicians, activists, lawyers, businessmen, bureaucrats, diplomats, and even two sitting ministers, one of them being the IT minister. Now, the issue led to a storm in the political circles as the names of the opposition leaders like Rahul Gandhi, who is also the member of Lok Sabha, and Abhishek Banerjee from TMC, and journalists who were critical of the government appeared on the list. The opposition demanded a discussion on farm laws as well, against which lakhs of farmers are protesting on the borders of the national capital. The farmers' protest is the longest running protest in the recent past, stretching over for more than 6 months. The farmers started their protest in November 2020 in chilly winter. They braved the harsh summer and now they are facing the rains. But despite all of this, the farmers' protest has shown no signs of ending. The opposition wants to discuss that. The opposition is also demanding a discussion on the management of the second wave of COVID-19, which was criticized worldwide, and rising petrol and diesel prices in the country. This had been on the opposition agenda from day one of the monsoon session. The opposition, though relatively smaller in numbers than the BJP, has so far put up a united front. The last few days also saw Congress leader and Lok Sabha MP Rahul Gandhi taking the lead and meeting several Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha MPs from opposition parties. The Parliament has seen multiple adjournments over the ruckus by the opposition since its commencement. But what has been the government's response to the opposition demand? When the Pegasus issue hit the headlines, government promptly issued a statement. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav called the reports baseless and without any concrete evidence. Thereafter, the government went on the defensive. The ruling BJP hit out at the opposition parties, especially the Congress, for trying to defame the country by not letting the parliament function. The Home Minister called Pegasus issue a tool by disruptors for obstructors. Prime Minister Modi, addressing the BJP MPs, accused the grand old party of not allowing the parliament to function. He also specifically asked BJP MPs to expose the grand old party, that is the Congress party, before the public and the media. And in his latest meeting with the BJP MPs, he also accused the opposition of insulting the parliament. He said that repeated adjournments forced by a vociferous opposition were an insult to the constitution, to democracy and to the public. PM Modi also said that it is an insult that the opposition is not letting the parliament function. Now let us talk about disruption being a form of democracy. For a common man, BJP's argument that the disruption of parliament functioning hampers the growth of our country can sound reasonable. After all, crores of rupees are spent from the taxpayers' money for these sessions of the parliament to take place. If the houses are adjourned without any substantial work being done, it's the taxpayers' loss, right? Well, not necessarily. It is not us who are saying this. The ruling Saffron party, when it was in opposition, had in fact said this. Now remember the time when the parliament was not being allowed to function during the UPA 2 era. Then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had blamed the BJP for this. And what did the BJP senior leaders respond to this? They called it a form of democracy. Now you might remember that during the UPA, parliament was disrupted multiple times. The BJP and its associates had not allowed the parliament to function over the issues like black money, 2G scam, coal scam, Chinese incursion, Robert Vadra land deal, etc. And not only that, it also demanded resignation of several ministers, it also demanded the JPC probe, etc. etc. Now then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh had termed it a negation of democracy, and this is what BJP leaders had to say about this. Late Sushma Swaraj, who was then the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, had declared that not allowing parliament to function is also a form of democracy like any other form. On September 2012, Sushma Swaraj said, and I quote, "We had to stall the parliament to expose the government and its corruption. Anyways, it is the government's job to run the parliament and not that of the opposition." Her counterpart in Rajya Sabha, late Arun Jaitley, had also justified the opposition demands for the resignation of the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and the stalling of the parliamentary proceedings following the controversy over the allocation of coal blocks. He said, and I quote, "By disrupting the parliament, we have given out a message to the country." He further said that when we disrupted parliament 3 years back on 2G scam, the telecom sector was cleaned. Now the country is faced with another issue, how to clean up the entire process of allocation of resources. Now, according to Mr. Jaitley, disruption should not have been described as preventing work from being done, because what they were doing was also very important work itself. That is, stalling of the parliamentary proceedings was also very important work itself. On August 26, 2012, Arun Jaitley, outside the parliament, also said, and I quote, "There are occasions when an obstruction in parliament brings greater benefits to the country, and our strategy does not permit us to allow the government to use parliament for debate without being held accountable. We do not want to give the government an escape route through debate." According to the records of PRS Legislative Research, the productivity of the 15th Lok Sabha, that is 2009 and 2014 UPA 2 era, was the worst in the last 50 years. The frequent disruptions resulted in the Lok Sabha working for 61% and Rajya Sabha working for 66% of its scheduled time. Now compare this with the current scenario in the parliament. The tables have turned, BJP is on the treasury benches and Congress is in the opposition. Then the disruptor was BJP and its alliance partners, and now it is the opposition led by the Congress party. It wouldn't be wrong to say that the BJP is getting taste of its own medicine. Lastly, what does it mean for parliamentary functioning? Will the parliament be continued to be adjourned like this? BJP has majority and it is passing bills without discussion with the opposition in the parliament. But is it how the parliament is supposed to function? The answer is no. Then what can be done? During UPA, Dr. Manmohan Singh accepted the opposition demand and series of resignations from the key ministries followed. Will PM Modi agree to opposition demand? As of now, it looks like the government is in no mood to do so. Do let us know what you think about this in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. For the last few months, we have been asking you to support us through our YouTube membership program, and it is heartening to see so many people coming out and showing support. It motivates us to continue the journalism that speaks truth to power. But many of you also wrote to us saying that they were unable to support us through YouTube. A lot of you also wrote to us asking whether there is an option of one-time payment. So we have come up with another option on our website through which you can now support us. You can choose if you want to support us through monthly one-time payment or yearly one-time payment on the website. This subscription plan also comes with certain benefits. So do check it out. Go to our website, click on the support on the topmost toolbar and check out the plan that you want to take up. Your support means the most to us. So do subscribe. Until then, stay tuned to HW News.